In Tampa, Florida, beneath the calm veneer of a coastal city, a quiet but extraordinary story was unfolding, one that has captivated both biotech investors and pharmaceutical analysts. The protagonist of this story is Scienture Holdings, Inc., NASDAQ SCNX, a company that managed to achieve what many in the pharmaceutical world would deem improbable, securing FDA approval and preparing full-scale commercialization in under 6 months. The company's creation of Arbli, a ready-to-use liquid formulation of Losartan, marks a pivotal moment in hypertension treatment. Traditionally, Losartan has existed only in tablet form. Elderly patients, children, and those with swallowing difficulties, clinically termed dysphagia, often struggle with solid dosage forms. Hospitals have long improvised, crushing tablets, diluting them in water, and estimating dosage by hand. This practice, while common, introduces instability and imprecision. Scienture identified this chronic pain point in patient care and decided to eliminate it entirely. Arbli emerged as the answer, a 10 milligrams per milliliter oral losartan suspension stable at room temperature for up to 18 months with a target shelf life of 24 months. Unlike compounded solutions that must be refrigerated, Arbli remains shelf-stable, cost-effective, and patient-friendly, especially for pediatric and geriatric populations. The product's peppermint flavoring enhances compliance, while its FDA approval on March 18, 2025, gave Scienture the regulatory legitimacy to launch what could be a disruptive shift in how hypertension is treated. But the speed of this success is what sparked industry intrigue. Scienture Holdings had only existed under that name for 6 months. It was previously known as Texaid Health until its rebranding on September 23, 2024. Typically, after such a corporate transformation, companies spend months reorganizing management, aligning regulatory filings, and revalidating ongoing projects. Yet Scienture did not slow down. It accelerated. Its rapid transition from distributor to developer raised an immediate question. Was this transformation organic, or had the groundwork been quietly laid long before? 10 days after approval, on March 25, 2025, Scienture announced a commercialization partnership with Syneos Health, one of America's largest healthcare sales and marketing service providers. Under normal circumstances, a new drug developer would spend several months building an internal sales force, negotiating with wholesalers, and crafting post-approval marketing plans before engaging such a partner. Scienture's lightning-fast deal implied pre-approval planning on a scale that defied typical timelines. This led analysts to speculate that the company had preemptively aligned its commercial infrastructure even before receiving FDA clearance, a highly unusual but strategically bold maneuver. On April 3, 2025, Scienture released a shareholder letter detailing its commercialization roadmap. 6 months later, on October 16, 2025, the company announced Arbli's inclusion in major U.S. wholesaler networks, a milestone that normally requires extended negotiations and logistical validation. Then, just 1 week later, on October 23, 2025, Scienture declared that first customer orders had been shipped and commercial sales had begun. The news broke pre-market and the stock soared. Investors, hungry for confirmation of real-world traction, saw this as proof that Scienture was no longer a development stage company, but a true revenue-generating enterprise. Yet, beneath the excitement, the numbers didn't immediately line up. The company claimed that Arbli was now accessible to over 2,500 hospitals, pharmacies, and long-term care facilities, but accessibility does not equate to prescriptions. In the U.S., drugs must first pass through multiple gatekeeping processes, formulary inclusion, reimbursement approval, and physician adoption, before prescriptions translate into revenue. These steps typically take 8 to 12 months. Scienture's timeline bypassed that norm, leading some to wonder if the sales launch represented genuine patient usage or merely wholesale inventory transfers awaiting downstream demand. The financial narrative added further complexity. On May 19, 2025, Scienture received a NASDAQ deficiency notice for trading below $1, a delisting risk. 2 months later, on July 16th, the company announced that it had regained compliance after 10 consecutive trading days above the threshold. But during that same period, the company terminated its equity line of credit, ELOC, a key funding mechanism, and instead raised $1.2 million in bridge financing. Such a move is atypical. When facing market pressure, companies usually expand credit facilities to stabilize liquidity, not eliminate them. The reversal raised two possible interpretations. Either management sought to prevent further dilution by avoiding equity-based financing, or institutional confidence had temporarily weakened, forcing the company to rely on short-term debt. Both interpretations carry weight, and neither can be dismissed lightly. Another area drawing attention is revenue recognition and inventory risk. Since Arbli's room temperature stability extends to 18 months, distributors can hold inventory for long periods. This flexibility is advantageous but also risky. Pharmaceutical accounting typically recognizes revenue when product is shipped to wholesalers. However, if sell-through to patients lags, gross-to-net adjustments, reductions accounting for rebates, returns, and unsold stock can significantly lower actual revenue. Without transparency into real-time consumption data, analysts remain cautious about how much of Scienture's reported sales truly represent end-user demand. Still, Scienture's technical achievement remains undeniable. Arbli is the first FDA-approved, ready-to-use Losartan suspension in the United States, a genuine formulation innovation. Its potential impact on pediatric, geriatric, and hospital-based hypertension care is substantial. Yet first-mover advantage in formulation-based drugs is fragile. Competitors can quickly develop similar suspensions, and formulation patents, unlike composition patents, are relatively easy to design around. Scienture's competitive window may therefore be measured in months, not years, unless it establishes brand loyalty and broad insurance coverage rapidly. Ultimately, Scienture's future hinges on four measurable fundamentals. 1. Prescription conversion speed, how quickly doctors switch from tablets to Arbli. 2. Net revenue quality, the proportion of recognized revenue that remains after rebates and returns. 3. Inventory turnover, how fast wholesale shipments translate to patient use. 4. Cash flow sustainability, whether operations can continue without further equity or debt issuance. One bottle of liquid replaced a tablet, but in doing so, it became a mirror reflecting the market's faith in biotech innovation. Scienture Holdings' story is still being written. Whether its first will evolve into enduring innovation or stand as a cautionary tale of premature ambition depends entirely on the company's ability to align speed with substance and promise with proof. ValueStir also invites you, our audience, to share your insights about publicly traded, private or pre-IPO stocks and crypto assets that deserve investigation. Leave your ideas in the comments. Your suggestion could spark our next deep dive. And to all who watch, subscribe, like, comment, and share these videos. Thank you sincerely. Your engagement helps us continue creating sharper, deeper, and more revealing financial stories. This was ValueStir.